In this video, I'm going over how Vacation Tracker compares to Google Sheets for tracking PTO. Now, this one's a little bit different from the normal comparison videos that we make because Google Sheets isn't a tool for tracking PTO. It's a spreadsheet, but it's what a lot of teams use to track time off. So we wanted to make a comparison video to look at when it works, when it doesn't, and what changes when you move to a purpose-built tool like Vacation Tracker. For a visual comparison table, check the link in the description, and then we'll get started with who these tools are built for, and then we'll talk more about the features and compare them a little bit deeper. Let's get started. Now, I might be a little bit biased because I work at Vacation Tracker, but I'm going to do my best to just give you the facts. Vacation Tracker can work for any size team, but it's really a great option for teams where the person in charge of HR is busy and they don't want to have to deal with people coming in all the time asking what their leave balances are, how much more time off they have left. Can they take this off or that off? It can all be outsourced or at least on a different platform. That way this person can focus on the work that actually matters. We purpose-built this to work in Slack, Microsoft Teams, or the mobile app that we have, as well as Google Workspace. So this means that it can work basically anywhere your team already works. And on the other side, Google Sheets is really built for anybody that wants a spreadsheet. It's a general purpose tool, and there are a lot of people out there that have made custom spreadsheets that they sell, or there's tutorials online that show how to make them best for tracking PTO. But as your team grows and it becomes more complicated, it can really be a headache. For small teams, tracking PTO with a Google Sheet makes a lot of sense because it's free, it's familiar, and it doesn't require purchasing and having to deal with a whole new product. But if simple leave tracking is all you're after, Vacation Tracker actually has a free version that works really well for very simple leave policies. And this means that people won't be coming into your office all the time asking for time off because they can just do it on their own and check their balances on Slack, Microsoft Teams, Google Workspace, or in the app, like I said. So here are some of Vacation Tracker's strengths. Vacation Tracker is focused on PTO and nothing else. It's not a general HR platform with time tracking or any other HR functions. It's purpose-built to work in the tools that you already use and integrate into payroll softwares like ADP or anything thanks to its open API. The setup process can be fully self-serviced as there's a free version, but if you want extra help on the onboarding, we have a dedicated team that's there to help you free of charge. Another big positive for this platform is that there's a full list of PTO policies. Every special case that your company could have is there, and if it isn't, you can create it with a custom leave policy or request it because we're constantly making updates and new features. This makes it so that Vacation Tracker adapts to your policies and not the other way around. We want to serve you the best we can. And this isn't to say that Google Sheets doesn't have its pros because it's an amazing tool. It's zero cost and there's no pricing tiers for it. So for a bootstrapped founder or a small business, it makes a lot of sense to do on your own. There's also just universal familiarity. Almost everyone knows how to create a spreadsheet, and if you don't, there's tutorials online for you to figure out how to make one for yourself. You're also probably used to making spreadsheets for other functions, and it's a natural progression to just think that tracking PTO can happen on a spreadsheet because you've used spreadsheets before. But what they don't tell you is that on the back end, there's constant upkeep and 1,000,001 policies that you could have for your vacation tracking when it comes to accruals or seniority-based entitlements, and it becomes very confusing all of a sudden, so that's why Vacation Tracker becomes a better option for people. But it's not without its faults, and Vacation Tracker has some weaknesses too, so let's go over those. Since it's only built for PTO tracking, there's no other HR functions available, and even though it can be integrated with payroll softwares, you're not going to get any other HR functions like employee document housing, tracking hiring processes, or managing any other HR tasks. It also isn't free in the way that a spreadsheet is free. We do have a generous free plan with unlimited users right now, but for the more advanced features, you're going to have to use a paid tier starting at $2 per user per month in order to get the full range of PTO rules that you might want. Now, if you're still unsure if Vacation Tracker is right for you, here's a deeper breakdown with some comparisons. When it comes to pricing, we've talked about it briefly. Obviously, Google Sheets are free except for the time that you have to put into it, and Vacation Tracker has a free version, but if you want to unlock more capabilities, you'll have to get a paid plan at either $2 per user per month or $4 per user per month. That said, Google Sheets does have a price, it's just not 100% visible. Somebody has to be working on it, somebody had to build it, and there's a constant flow of people coming in talking about leave, asking about balances, and anything else that comes up when it comes to leave tracking. Vacation Tracker does have a free trial where you can test out our paid programs, so you will be able to test it before you really commit. The length of time it takes to implement the Google Sheet is basically how fast you are at building it, but Vacation Tracker is usually up in less than a day depending on the size of your team, because all you have to do is invite your users and set up your policies. Where the gap is widest is in Vacation Tracker's features. Google Sheets has no no approval workflow, no automated accruals, no balance tracking or notifications, and no policy enforcement. And Vacation Tracker can automate all of that, which is the big win here. Whether it's probation periods, blackout periods, seniority-based entitlement rules, or maximum users away, it'll all have to be manually tracked in a spreadsheet where it's automatic in Vacation Tracker. For integrations, Vacation Tracker works in Microsoft Teams, Slack, Google Workspace, a mobile app, or even on just a general internet browser. This means that employees can request time off where they're working, and it won't take you out of your workflow, which makes everybody more productive. It also integrates with ADP, Zapier, and has an open API, so you can integrate it with basically anything you want. Of course, Google Sheets doesn't really do this. It can integrate with Google products somewhat, but you're not going to get this full-scale integration that you can get with Vacation Tracker. It'll be tough to get help via Google support, but with Vacation Tracker, we have live chat, email, and a general onboarding call if you want help setting up. And the last thing we'll compare is security. Vacation Tracker is SOC 2 Type 2 certified and GDPR compliant. And Google Sheets security really depends on how your organization manages file sharing and permissions. But let's get real here, because there is no one-size-fits-all approach to tracking leave. There's a million ways to do it. There's a bunch of companies out there that can help. You can do it with Google Sheets. And this video is not to say that Google Sheets is bad. If your team is under 10 people, has one location, not a lot of complexity in the leave policies that you have set up, Google Sheets can work perfectly fine. But once you start growing, whether it's multiple locations, more users, or you just start to get overwhelmed by the amount of people coming in asking you day in and day out, how much time do I have left? Can I take this day off? Managers not knowing when people are going to be out all of a sudden, it can be a headache. And that's what Vacation Tracker is purpose-built for. It's simple to set up, and most teams are live in under a day. And because it lives inside of Slack or Google or Microsoft, your team doesn't have to get distracted or change anything about how they work. Both options do have free entry points, and if you're watching this, you're probably already used to a Google Sheet, so there's no reason not to test out Vacation Tracker just to see how it is. You can find links for everything in the description. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.